Once upon a time there lived a little old man and a little old woman. They lived by themselves and had no little boys or girls to call their own. Without children, they became very lonely. One beautiful day the little old woman made a gingerbread boy. She used raisins to make him eyes, a small piece of sugar candy for his nose, and his mouth was made out of red licorice. She made him a jacket out of chocolate and put sweet, dried red currants on it for buttons. His pants were made from brown frosting. His shoes were made out of black gumdrops. Then she put him in the oven to bake. My, how the house smelled so delicious! The old man had been working outside while the old woman had been making the gingerbread boy, and now he came inside to find out what smelled so good. The old couple had been looking forward to a delicious dessert when something strange happened. They were both looking in the direction of the oven when it happened. It began to shake and bounce up and down. A voice from the inside began to say,
"Hey, let me out! It's hot in here!"
The old man stepped back and stared as the woman took a potholder and carefully opened the oven door. Out popped the little gingerbread boy, alive and standing before them. The little old woman picked him up, but he was hot, so she let him go, and he stood up on the table and said joyfully, "I finally have a little boy of my own." The old man was partly happy, but he was partly sad also. He'd been looking forward to a good dessert, but parents aren't allowed to eat their children even when they're bad. "Isn't he handsome?" asked the little old woman. "Yes, and he smells good too," said the little old man. But before either one could say another word or reach out to hug him, the little gingerbread boy jumped off the table and ran out the door. The little old man had forgotten to close it when he had come into the house. The little old man and the little old woman ran after him, shouting, "Stop! Stop, little gingerbread boy! Please stop!" The little gingerbread boy did not stop, however. He kept running and said, "Run, run, run, as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Gingerbread Man." And they couldn't catch the gingerbread boy, though they kept running on behind him. On and on ran the little gingerbread boy until he passed by the big brown cow that was grazing in the field. "Moo! Stop, little gingerbread boy," called the big brown cow. "You smell good enough to eat." The little gingerbread boy did not stop for the big brown cow, though. Instead, he laughed and said, "I ran away from the little old woman, I ran away from the little old man, and I can run away from you, I can." And off he ran down the road, shouting, "Run, run, run, as fast as you can. You can't catch me, I'm the Gingerbread Man." And the big brown cow couldn't catch him, though he kept running on behind. On and on ran the little gingerbread boy until he passed by a group of men who were threshing wheat by the roadside. "Stop! Stop!" called the thresherman. "You smell good enough to eat." But the little gingerbread boy did not stop for the thresherman. Instead, he laughed and said, "I ran away from the little old woman, I ran away from the little old man, I ran away from the big brown cow, and I can run away from you, I can." Then off he ran down the road, shouting, "Run, run, run, as fast as you can. You can't catch me, I'm the Gingerbread Man." And though the threshermen ran very fast, they couldn't catch the little gingerbread boy, but they kept running on behind him. On and on ran the little gingerbread boy until he passed by the big black horse who was eating hay from a bale that was dropped by the roadside. "Stop, little gingerbread boy," said the big black horse. "You smell good enough to eat." But the little gingerbread boy did not stop for the big black horse. Instead, he laughed and said, "I ran away from the little old woman, I ran away from the little old man, I ran away from the big brown cow, I ran away from the threshermen, and I can run away from you, I can." And off he went down the road, shouting, "Run, run, run, as fast as you can. You can't catch me, I'm the Gingerbread Man." And though the big black horse galloped very fast, it could not catch him, though it kept running behind him. On and on ran the little gingerbread boy until he passed by a fox that was crossing the nearby field. The fox looked at the gingerbread boy, but he didn't say anything. "Don't you want to chase me? I ran away from the little old woman. I ran away from the little old man. I ran away from the big brown cow. I ran away from the thresherman. I ran away from the big black horse, and I can run away from you, I can." And he got ready to run some more. But the fox just kept walking slowly. "I don't want to catch you," said the fox. Just at the same time, the little gingerbread boy reached the river. He had to quit running. He couldn't get into the water, since that would be like dipping a cookie into milk. He would crumble. When the gingerbread boy looked around, uh-oh, he saw the little old woman and the little old man, the big brown cow, the thresherman, and the big black horse still running, only now they were catching up. The only one not chasing him was Mr. Fox. "Not to bother you," said Mr. Fox as he came closer, "but you seem to have a problem. Do you need to get across the river? If so, jump on my tail so your feet won't get wet." Not having a better offer, the little gingerbread boy climbed onto the fox's tail, and the fox started to swim across the river. After a little while, the very clever fox said, "You're getting heavy on my tail, and I don't want you to get wet, little gingerbread boy. Why don't you just move onto my back?" The little gingerbread boy moved just in time as the fox's tail dipped into the river. A few minutes later, the very clever fox said, "Uh-oh, the fur on my back is getting wet. You'd better be moving up to my shoulders." So little gingerbread boy moved up to the fox's shoulders. "I'm afraid my shoulders are sinking," said the fox moments later. "Why don't you climb onto my nose? We're almost at the other bank." The gingerbread boy was looking at the dry land that was approaching, and he climbed up onto the fox's nose. Just as the fox stepped onto solid land, he tossed his head backwards and snapped shut his jaws right around the middle of the gingerbread boy. And that's how the story ends. Unless you want to go ahead and make a gingerbread boy of your own with someone that lives with you and write your own ending, you might have a delicious ending of your own tale.